Hello everyone, this is Margaret, your host for tonight, and we're going to have a special event today, chocolate and tea pairing, because tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Today is Chinese New Year, and you know last week I did a special on Chinese teas. I hope you enjoyed that presentation. So before I start, I want to say hello to everyone. Welcome. Thanks for joining. We need our little blue pad here so I can see some people. Thank you. So as you know, I usually start slowly and then soft opening, and then after a few minutes I will start an actual session that will be recorded on YouTube. Will be recorded and posted on YouTube, so you can watch it at any time after. And therefore, people who maybe didn't brew their teas today, didn't get them, maybe they want to watch again. You will also be able to watch this session on Facebook. It will be saved as video, and also you will be able, when you scroll down for a while, on as a post. I hope you guys can hear me well. Since I don't see anybody, I don't know, but I'm guessing you can. And also, I know that some of you are watching this program simultaneously with other people, other significant others, your friends, your family, and maybe you just want to say hello to them and let them know you're watching too. It's tough, I know. It's a pandemic and time, and we don't see our significant others or friends as often as we would like, sometimes for weeks and months. And I know this virtual option is one of the best options available right now, but let's stay safe, be smart. It's gonna be over. Just hang in, okay? And chocolate and tea will make everything better. So as you know, today's program is about chocolate and tea. How nice. Two of my favorites. And we'll see how these two ingredients play together, and mainly how the taste of tea will change when chocolate flavor added in form of the pure chocolate. Now, I know that, speaking of YouTube channel, I just want to show you the card with the name. There's a lot of other videos, as you know, posted on our YouTube channel, Blue Monkey Tea. I'm sorry, this is our website. Okay, this is our website. You can find a lot of information on it too, and you also have our phone number here. And I have to stop moving these cards because I noticed that a lot of times I'm showing them and shaking them too for some unknown reason. Hi John, hi Dave, hi John, hi Amanda, hi Melissa, hi Judy, hi Christine. Welcome. And I hope more people will join. Some kind of update going on. I can see you. Yeah, I can see you. Hi Amanda. Hi everyone. So okay, I'm here. I'm still here. There we go. Blue Monkey Tea YouTube channel. Please watch. I have a lot of good videos. Tea, about tea, and instructional, and all sorts of different tea topics. And the one that's been very popular is Tea 101, plain and simple for beginners. that is like very comprehensive. It's kind of equivalent of the level 1 class that we used to have here in the store. Okay. I am going to allow you some time now to brew your teas, and I will brew my teas too before we start our official video, the official video that will go on YouTube. So let's start. I have 7 teas today. I have Jasmine, Genmaicha, milk Oolong, Assam, Lapsang Souchong, and Chestnut. And you may have, hi Evelyn, hi Anne, hi Anne, hi Mary Ellen, hi Katie. Mitchell is showing me something, not sure what. We have 6 teas. Yeah. Jasmine, Genmaicha, milk Oolong, Assam, Lapsang Souchong, and Chestnut. And if you watch my video I recorded yesterday, I gave some instructions in this video how to prepare for this class. So you might want to watch. You probably have some idea. If not, don't worry, it will be fine. I'm going to start brewing my teas and talking about them a little bit too. So let's start with Jasmine Green. This is a green tea. And we're going to use, you can use teaspoon, and I'm going to show you that I chose mugs to make those teas because you could of course use teapots if you'd like to have a little more. We have a lot of nice teapots here. This one actually has infuser basket inside, and ton of teapots around here, but I'm using clear mugs today for better presentation. So we have, may I have a kettle? You need a kettle. You need some hot water, right? We have, there's boiling water in the, oh, okay. 2 teaspoons, guys, for a mug. Approximately 2 teaspoons of tea, okay? And dip. Whoa. Jasmine, and because I'm making 2 green teas, I'm going to make them at the same time because they're going to require the same water temperature, about 180 degrees, and the same steeping time. I don't have a timer here yet, so maybe we can figure out something. And Genmaicha. Genmaicha is Japanese tea with brown rice, roasted, and so it gains the specific kind of nutty, toasty flavor. And we're also going to use 2 teaspoons. You guys can make your teas too, because that's how I set up this session, so you have a little bit of time before we get started. Okay, so this is Genmaicha, also green. I'm using all sorts of cute little infusers. We can finally, oh, here it is. Can I have another timer maybe? We have another timer. Green tea requires cooler water. And you can use a temperature control kettle like this one. It has several different settings. Or let me show you a simple trick. In fact, I need one more app. Can I, excuse me, assistant, can I have a measure cup from the back? Okay. I'll show you how to cool off your water to a proper temperature. And I have these steeping instructions here. Okay, so the jasmine tea, we're going to steep in a temperature of about 180 for 2 minutes. The same with Genmaicha, because it's also a green tea. 180 degrees Fahrenheit, 2 minutes. Okay? And I will show you a trick how to cool off your water to proper temperature, because this water is too hot for green tea. So what I do, I like to pour water first into either another cup or measuring cup. These are about 14 ounces capacity. So it's two. Also, if you pour from high, that water will be cooling off here too on the way down. See, I'm doing this to cool it down. Of course, have to remember, that's okay. This timer, 2 minutes. In the meantime, we can start making other teas. I'm going to make milk oolong. Let's give it a nice big basket infuser, because milk oolong is very tightly rolled, and when leaves open up, they're going to become quite big. Okay. You can use tea measure or just the regular plain teaspoon. So again, 2, 1, 2. I'm just going to get it ready because I have someone is showing me, so I can't see, it's too small.
Use this for a timer.
Oh, we use smart speaker for a timer. Yeah, you can use smart speaker, you can use your phone. Just don't keep it close to beverage because you might have some spill. Although they make phones now waterproof. They make them tea-proof. Okay, meanwhile, we have 41 seconds left. So I'm doing this, hi Natalia, I'm doing this for you to have also time to prepare your own teas, but I've been asking many to prepare ahead of time, so I hope some of you already have your teas ready and keep them warm. Let's make, next tea will be Assam. Assam, where are you? Here. Once again, we're using, this one has a cute little teapot. Oh, we have some hard infusers too. Okay. Stop. That means we have to remove our tea leaves, because if we don't, there's going to be oversteeping going on, and those teas are not going to taste good. Okay. Quite different color, huh? So this is Genmaicha, and this is Jasmine. And now let's start Oolong. The water temperature should be about 990, and we steep for 3 minutes. Okay, so this is milk oolong, otherwise called Kwanja milk oolong. We steep in a temperature 190 degrees Fahrenheit for 3 minutes. Oh, it's not. It's that milk oolong. Okay. For this tea, I can probably use heart infuser, although it's a little small. So we're going to, 1 second, I'm getting different heart. We have a lot of hearts here. You need to have enough room for tea to steep well. They have to have room to roam. So this will be Assam 2. And there we go. Just have to remember. Let's do Oolong next because it's a different timing, different temperature. And then I will have 3 black teas left. Assam, Lapsang Souchong, and Chestnut black tea. And those are going to require the same temperature and the same time. So this, let's cool water off a little bit, but not as much as for green tea. So let's just, if you steep oolong in 180, it's still going to be okay. Milk oolong is fantastic because you can steep it multiple times, and sometimes using a little cooler temperature in the beginning will give you more steepings actually. Okay, 3 minutes. Okay, we're timing, and in the meantime I'm going to prepare my other black teas. I already have Assam here. We might need more hot water from the other kettle. For black tea we're going to need a hot water. All these teas, Assam 212, and we're going to steep for 4 minutes. The same with the Lapsang Souchong, 212, 4 minutes. And Chestnut, which is also black tea, 212 in 4 minutes. Okay. And I had some paper. Oh, whoops. Okay, so we have Assam. Now we need Lapsang Souchong, which is a smoky tea. Let's use this one. Oh, yeah, okay. 1, 2 flat pieces. Closed well. Gonna cut, and we have. So we have. Let's set them up in order. Jasmine, Genmaicha, milk oolong. This will be Assam, Lapsang Souchong, and chestnut. That's a very yummy tea. Chestnut. How about using this cute deep sea diver? There's so many different cute little infusers in all different shapes. This is also part of the tea fun with tea. Come on, we have to fit 2 teaspoons. Yep, it worked. Okay, he's ready. He's coming up his pontoon boat and he's going in the cove. Whoop. Meanwhile, we have our oolong, milk oolong ready here. This is pretty neat because the lid can be used as a dripping tray. It's called brewing mug infuser. I have to do this. Heavenly smell. Okay, I think I have super hot water here because this one already cooled off. So let's use this for my 3 black teas. And I'm going to just quickly do that. There you go, buddy. I know it's a little hot. Oh, you're tough. Okay, I think I'm done with kettles, so it's okay. I'll just set them up here. Okay. 4 minutes. So I hope if you guys already had your teas at home and you want to taste them with me, you had a chance to steep them as I just did here. And now we're going to move on to actual part of the presentation. Just wait a couple more minutes. Like I said, thank you so much for joining, and many of you purchased a special tea and chocolate pairing kit, which you can use today, or you can actually use at any time in future, because this recording will be this video is recorded and it's going to be posted on Blue Monkey Tea YouTube channel along with other videos. Who else is on? I just want to say hi to everyone. I know some of you are watching, but you don't oh yeah, we do have, actually, let me show you the kit. No, I have a kit here. I have a better one. So this is the tea and chocolate pairing kit. They're still available on our website. You just have to go to tea classes and tea events, and you can purchase them because you can do your own experimentation in your own time. There are instructions inside included, so you will be able to do it on your own as well. 3 types of chocolate, white, milk, and dark, and 6 types of tea, all the teas that I'm tasting today. There you go. And there's quite a bit of tea. There's you can make a lot of tea with the sampler. Good birthday gift or Mother's Day. Okay, we have 2 minutes left. What can I tell you in those 2 minutes? Because I don't want to start official presentation yet. What are you guys drinking? Who got the tea and chocolate kit? Can you just like do a thumb up or smiley face if you don't want to say anything? So I know Paula got one. And is Paula there? I don't see you yet. Is she there? I don't. My gadget here is kind of on delay, but I was hoping Paula was there too.
Paula said me. Lisa said me. Kate gave you a happy face.
Okay.
And it's a birthday gift for me.
Oh, nice! Happy birthday! Happy birthday to you! Almost done. And to preserve these teas from
Evelyn said yes.
Okay. So to prevent these teas from getting cold, because we want to maintain warm temperature. We don't want them to be too hot, but we also don't want them to be too cold. So what I will be using today, I will be covering them with my tea cozies. But you can also use tin foil. You can cover them with a blanket. In fact, I'm gonna do it. Okay. Trying to be organized. But I hope you will enjoy this presentation. It's going to be a little longer. I anticipate we're going to finish at about 7 o'clock. Okay, time for these guys to come out. 1, 2. And our deep sea diver is done. It's coming out. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, here's your boat.
Paula says she's using toasties.
Huh?
Toasties.
Oh, did you get them?
apparently.
For some reason, I don't know. Can you refresh this for me? Or something. Okay, so, well, we don't want them to be too hot too, but I will just use another tea cozy here to keep them nice and warm. Chocolate. One cozy covers 3 cups. So we got 2. Hi Paula, and I can see you. Hi Andrea. Hi Evelyn. Okay. Wait, do I have this? It's an infuser too. Okay, I'm gonna start the official video right now. Hello, I'm Margaret from Blue Monkey Tea Company in Pittsburgh. Welcome to this edition of Saturday Tea Saturday Live. Today we have special presentation, special workshop, tea and chocolate pairing. You can pair those two to achieve special new great sensory experience. If you have, like I said, if you have purchased this special tea and chocolate tea pairing kit, you will be also able to experiment along with me either live today or by watching this video later on YouTube channel. And these tea sets, tea and chocolate tasting sets are available on our website, which is www.bluemonkeytea.com. www.bluemonkeytea.com. So let's get started. I do have some notes here. Tea as wine can be paired really well with various foods and drinks, such as chocolate, other desserts, cheeses, and also other dishes and drinks. Like I already did a session on mocktails. You can also make cocktails with tea. And many teas have chocolate added to them. For example, strawberry chocolate or coconut chocolate. We also have many loose leaf teas. We have chocolate tea with chocolate chips. We have chocolate orange pu'er tea, chocolate mint rooibos. So that's another sort of way of pairing chocolate with tea. But it is so much better to have tea, pure tea, without any added flavor, and pure chocolate, and do the pairing this way. Today, like I said, we're going to test all various types of chocolate and various types of tea. But first, let me introduce these two characters individually. We're going to start with tea. Tea is a plant. Even though there's many different types of tea, but they all come from the same plant. The plant is Camellia sinensis. It likes tropical and subtropical climate, and you probably know that most tea comes from countries like China, India, Sri Lanka, Japan, Kenya. Camellia sinensis can grow into a tree, but usually it doesn't because it's trimmed at the waist level for easy leaf picking. And they usually just harvest bud and 2 top leaves. Sometimes they go lower. They will use 3rd and 4th, but very rarely. History of teas. It's been around for millennia. It actually was discovered about 5,000 years ago in China. And for many years it was used medicinally. And then eventually during the Tang dynasty, it became a very treasured, cherished, and also ceremonial drink. Now there's 4 basic types of tea, but they don't depend on species, because like I told you, there's only one species. There's several subspecies, there are hybrids, there are cultivars, but there's one basic species, and it's called Camellia sinensis. Now the type of tea, there are 4 basic types of tea: black, green, oolong, and white. And the final characteristic of these teas depend on the type of processing that they undergo after harvest. Black tea is fully oxidized, that's why it's so dark and strong, full body. Green tea is unoxidized, and that's why it maintains the green color and freshness. Oolong tea is somewhere in between, it's partially oxidized. And white tea undergoes very special processing. There's a little bit of oxidation. Main characteristic of the white tea is that a lot of times it only consists of buds, or buds and the very small leaves. And it's pretty light. So many people, not too many people actually had experience of drinking white tea. Usually when you go to a supermarket, you get white tea that's heavily flavored. But it can be really, real treat. It could be a very rewarding experience if you know what notes to look for. Chocolate. Chocolate apparently was already known 1400 BC, because there were traces of cacao discovered in Honduras that they thought they're pretty sure they originated 1400 years BC. Also, Mayans and Aztecs, they enjoyed cocoa in 6th century AD Mayan culture, and in 12th century AD Aztecs. Cacao beans were actually used as a currency at that time. For example, Turkey was worth 100 cacao beans. And cacao tree, which is in the Latin name is Theobroma cacao, which means food of the gods, of course, can also grow pretty high, about 15-20 feet, and fruits actually, which look sort of like this. I happen to have a replica of the cacao pod. They grow from trunks, and after harvesting they cut them open, and there are cacao beans inside, covered in a whitish membrane. And those cacao beans are going to be first they form like heaps of those for initial fermentation. In that process, the high humidity and warmth inside of those heaps will make them a little less bitter, improve the flavor. Then they're going to be dried up and transported very quickly to less humid climate. One of the shipping ports for cacao beans, one of the biggest ports is Amsterdam. Most of the areas that grow cacao, they have to be within 20 degrees north or south of the equator. It has to be hot and humid climate. And most of the cacao comes from Ivory Coast in West Africa, from Central and South America, and also from countries like Indonesia, India, and Philippines. Ha! I think that's enough. So how do they make chocolates out of those cacao pods? Well, they, like I said, there are seeds inside, so those are called cacao beans. And once they make it to the final destination, let's say to Pittsburgh, they will be roasted, ground, and then that grinding will cause them to liquefy. And that liquor is called cocoa liquor. Then they're going to separate the dry content, which is cacao powder, or cocoa, we can call it now cocoa powder, and cocoa butter. Cocoa butter is that fatty component that's left over, but it's also useful. Eventually, chocolate will be made from cacao powder or cocoa powder, cocoa butter, and also from the cocoa liqueur, which is that original component obtained from cocoa beans. It's a little complicated, and I don't want to get into detail right now on this. I have a separate class on chocolate, so check it out. How is the chocolate made? So these three ingredients are combined together, and depending on what's added to it, like milk, then we're gonna have milk chocolate, or it could be some fruits, it could be some nuts. So this is how the chocolate bars or chocolate candy are created. There are 4 types of chocolate, basic types of chocolate. We have unsweetened chocolate, which is called bitter or baking chocolate. Dark chocolate, which is chocolate with the cacao content of 60% or more. This particular one, for example, has 85%. This was included in your tea and chocolate tasting kits. Milk chocolate will have added milk, and it could be either condensed milk or powder milk. We have milk chocolate from Europe. Woohoo! European chocolates are yummy because they have higher standard on, they have to have at least 25% of cocoa content, while American chocolates are allowed to have only 10%. And the other stuff is some gooey stuff in them. But we like it. And white chocolate, which is actually not a chocolate. There is no cacao, no cocoa in white chocolate at all. It's basically just that cocoa butter, which still comes from cocoa beans, but it's the fatty content, and sugar. It could be some vanilla, soy lecithin to make it into a shelf-stable product. But it is also very yummy. Both tea and chocolate have health benefits. They're pretty similar. They both have a lot of antioxidants, and they improve your mood. Tea it has an ingredient called L-theanine, which is stimulates alpha brain activity and puts us in a state of mindful clarity and relaxation. Now, chocolate stimulates production of let me just get this right here, make sure. I'll get back to it, but chocolate and tea also contain, they both contain antioxidants, so they will be helpful in preventing mutations and other diseases. And they also contain minerals, vitamins. So win-win situation. This interesting fact, and I mentioned that before, there was a lady in France, Jean-Louis Calment, who lived to be 122 years old, and she ate up to 2 pounds of chocolate per week. So go figure. I think chocolate might be actually healthy. Yes. So chocolate is also about aphrodisiac. That's why we buy chocolate for Valentine. So it's all about mood, and I always used to think it's a serotonin Some sources say that chocolate actually has serotonin in it, but I think it's more about endorphins. It helps to increase endorphin level. So eat chocolate, but in moderation. The recommended dose of chocolate, and of course dark chocolate is a better choice, at least 60% of cocoa content. You're supposed to eat approximately 1 ounce. And average chocolate bar has 3.5 ounces, so we only eat about 1/3 of the chocolate bar per day, which is still quite a bit. So, yeah. Now let's move on to our experiment. And like I said, those two are delicious by themselves, but when you marry those, you get something totally new. Very unexpected tasting experience. I have 3 types of chocolate here. So I have dark milk. I have 85%. I have milk chocolate, Milka from Germany, and I have white chocolate, also Lind. You can also experiment with flavored chocolate or fruit chocolate. Orange chocolate goes really well with Earl Grey, for example, or any kind of citrus teas. Today, I will be just using those 3 here. When you can, at home, you don't have to do all these 6 teas at once. It might be easier to actually just brew 1 or 2 teas and do tea tasting with just 1 or 2 teas and various chocolates. However, today I'm going to pair 6 teas, and once again, I think I forgot to mention which teas for this particular video content. And first off, let's start with chocolates. I'm going to use white, milk, and dark chocolate. Today I'm going to use 85%. And one second, I'm taking a pause. Hi Paula, Paula's doing it all. Now says there's dopamine. Dopamine, yeah. Oh, here are my teas. Okay, so these are the teas that we're going to be brewing and tasting. I already prepared them ahead of time. I keep them nice and warm here. We have Jasmine Green, Genmaicha. That's a Japanese tea with roasted rice, and some of the rice pops and looks like popcorn. Milk Oolong, Assam black tea, Lapsang Souchong, which is a black smoky tea, and Chestnut. I chose Chestnut flavor tea. Make sure you follow the proper steeping instructions, because you want to extract these teas in the best way possible. And except for that chestnut tea, as you notice, I am using pure teas because I suggest that you go with the natural flavor of tea, not the artificial. But I was really tempted to use that chestnut tea today too. So we have teas brewed, we have chocolates, break chocolates into bite-sized pieces. Make sure you focus, you stay, when you do your session, try to be relaxed, have nice and quiet spot, avoid noise. You might even close your eyes when you taste your teas, because you want to eliminate all other sensory experiences, just you and tea and chocolate. So focus on your tasting and on your olfactory experience and mouthfeel. because these are the three things that are going to play a role in this tasting session. Make sure that you brew teas properly, proper amount of tea, proper water temperature for steeping, and proper steeping time. I have a class that is very good for beginners, people who are new to loose leaf tea. It's called Tea 101, Plain and Simple for Beginners. It's available on our YouTube channel as well, along with many other classes. Okay. Keep in mind that everyone's taste buds are different because we have different genotypes. So one person may taste some notes in tea, and next person who's tasting the same tea at the same time might not taste it at all, or they might taste them differently. So, but you can also train your bud. Sometimes it's hard in the beginning to discern, to identify notes in tea or foods, but you can actually, not only by focusing, concentrating, but also by repeating, tasting, and knowing what to look for, you actually can train your taste buds to for this experience. Keep your tea warm. Don't make it too hot. I mean, you make it hot, but don't keep it too hot because you don't want to burn your tongue, because then you won't be able to perceive the taste. One technique that's very popular and good in tea tasting or wine tasting as well is slurping. That's why I have this big spoon here. By slurping tea, you spray tea with more force onto the back of your mouth, and it also aerates and releases those volatile components, which would otherwise, if you just swallow tea quickly, everything just goes through your mouth very quickly, and those volatile components, aromatics, they don't have a chance to actually come out. So slurping is very good, and I will be doing slurping today. That's why I have a tablespoon. So what are we looking for is to assess is let's start with tea. We're going to look for mouthfeel, aroma, and taste. I have posted a few minutes ago descriptors for you. They're also available on our website. You just go and look for tea and events section, go to tea and chocolate pairing, and I just posted a list of descriptors for aroma and taste, for mouthfeel, texture, body, and for finish. Finish is echo. They call it echo. Also, after you swallow. In fact, the proper way to taste, you slurp, you swish, cover all parts of your mouth, tongue, and then you exhale with your mouth closed, and close your eyes if you're safe, because that will help you discern all these different factors, tasting and aroma. There's also such thing as a flavor wheel. I think we have it on our website too. I borrowed it from Mayleaf, but there are several flavor wheels. They're very helpful. I picked some of these flavors, aromas, the ones that I find the most useful for me, and I hope you will find them useful too. So if you don't have them handy, if you didn't see them on Facebook yet, I mean, you guys can probably just, if you are on your computers or cell phones, you can probably just click on www.bluemonkeytea.com and go to tea classes event section and find this chocolate and tea pairing class, and you will be able to see a list of these, because trust me, these are very, very helpful, because many people will just take a sip and say, oh, well, it tastes bitter or grassy or light. These are not very descriptive. So it's good to have more words to work with. And I'm just going to give you an example. Aroma and taste, I have categories: floral, grassy, fruity, toasty, nutty, cooking flavors, other. And then I have descriptors for mouthfeel, texture, body, thin, thick, dry, bitter, sparkling, astringent, coffee-like. And we have finish. It could be long, short, clean, vague, intense, brisk, dull. But don't just stick with these descriptors. You can create your own. Many times you can compare taste to foods. Sometimes it not necessarily might be foods, like for example camphor. That's very, a lot of people describe Lapsang Souchong as kind of camphory, kind of like a vapor rub, smell, taste. And you can associate flavor, aroma, maybe with some happening from the past. Maybe a person, like maybe you were sitting with grandma and had apple pie, and there would be some apple pie notes in your tea. So you not necessarily identify pure aromas and tastes, but you can also identify, maybe associate events, places, or some other happenings from past. Fun. It's very interesting. And now I'm going to get started. You guys ready? Oh, one more thing. So you can steep your teas like I did ahead of time, and I kept them warm. I made them in mugs. I observed all those proper steeping rules, you know, the amount of tea, the temperature, water temperature, steeping time, because it's very important. But also, one of the best ways to have them a more intense experience with tea aroma taste is to steep your tea in a gaiwan. It's a gong fu Eastern way of making tea, where you place a lot more tea into this cup and then cover it and steep for a short period of time, like 10 seconds, 15 seconds. And then you pour it out into another cup. And this way you have a stronger brew, and you can also make several repeated steeps with this method. And also, and every steeping is different. So you can have one type of tea, but different experience, different sensations with each steep. So this is very interesting too. Okay guys, let's get ready. Let's start with jasmine tea. I also have a sheet with notes, like to take notes. Find that. It was in your sets too, but I probably won't be able to find, but that's okay. I will be just talking about my sensations. But it's really good to have a writing pad, and I think I'm gonna get it. My assistant is gonna bring it to me. I am so sorry, my gadget here is slow. I'm I'm taking a little break right now from official videotaping, so I just want to say hi again. Happy Valentine. Nancy, thank you. Thank you. She wished me happy Valentine. And she likes the cozies. Uh, Paula, she got her toasties. Okay, these are great travel mugs. Thank you. That's not it. I need the... Oh, yeah, we got this. Can you show close? Oh, okay. Back to the official video. This is a form I designed. It's chocolate and tea pairing notes. First column, tea type, taste of tea by itself, taste with one type of chocolate and other type of chocolate. But of course you can customize these and taste all different chocolates with this. You can also do one first steeping, second steeping, and so on. In general, chocolate and tea can be paired as like and like, where they have the same similar qualities and similar, you know, spectrum of taste, aroma, or as a contrast, which is very interesting. And you never know, these you might even taste tea that you normally don't like, but paired with chocolate will give you a whole new tea experience. Fun, fun, fun! Oh, I can't wait! So, I know, okay, so let's do Jasmine. Jasmine is goes really well, interesting pairing with milk or dark chocolate. So let's taste Jasmine by itself. I'm going to do slurping. I slurp and I swish, but now I open my mouth, so keep your mouth closed. This tea, of course, has floral taste. I'd say the body is thick, not super thick, but it's pretty substantial. There's also buttery notes, and let me grab my descriptors here. I taste a little bit of peach in it. And it has honey. I taste a little bit of honey too. Finish long, clean. Now let's taste milk chocolate with it. So one more time, let's take a sip. Bite of chocolate. And chocolate shouldn't be cold. Don't keep it in the fridge before. Chocolate should never be kept in the fridge. The warm temperature of tea helps to melt chocolate faster. Now take another sip. Very interesting because the creaminess, sweetness, for some reason diminished, and there is now, I'm checking, more grassy notes, believe it or not. So we're getting into grassy characteristics, and it's pretty pungent. It's a more so like a fresh cut grass. Mouthfeel, it changed. It became a little thicker, even thicker than it was before, and finish is short. So how about you guys? I'm having fun. It's okay. I'm not going to write notes because this is going to extend this session. but let's try it with another tea. Okay, we're taking a slurp. Coat, mouth. Oh, also make sure your palate is clean. Don't eat anything spicy or heavily flavored before, like garlic, onion, and in between teas, chocolates, you might want to take a few sips of water. So let's see how jasmine tea will pair with dark chocolate. Make sure you swallow the whole thing, chocolate. It's much more subtle. Uh, more mellow. So this was contrast, the second one, and yes, the dark chocolate offset that creamy, milky kind of jasmine-y flavor, but it's still very, very interesting. It actually became more buttery, toasty. I can almost feel some toasty notes. So very short finish. Both chocolates cause this tea to have a shorter echo. Ah, interesting. So let's move on to Genmaicha. Genmaicha is the tea with roasted rice. So by adding the roasted rice, they give this tea kind of roasty, toasty character. So let's taste this tea by itself. Definitely toasty, as as it was expected, but let's see. I can taste a little bit of course, popcorn taste because of the popped rice, but I also taste a little bit of berries in it, like a little bit of fruitiness. It's pretty thin. The mouthfeel is quite thin, and you can actually see by clarity this is a very clear tea, not like jasmine. And finish, let's see, finish is pretty short too. It becomes a little creamy too. Okay, so tea that would go well, an interesting combination is a white chocolate. And this will be make sure you swallow it. White chocolate, it's really good. Now, of course, the toastiness almost disappeared, and it is similar, somewhat similar to milk oolong for some reason. It's very mellow. It has those buttery notes. I'd say I probably taste a little bit of the pound cake in it, if you know what I mean. and honey. Now, as you all know, I love black teas. I like strong teas. So, but I do enjoy all various teas. So, these teas are those lighter tasting tea, and they require a little more concentration and maybe better developed, more sensitive taste buds. I know some of you have very sensitive taste buds, and you're probably going to taste this tea and identify different notes. But yeah, pound cake. Yeah. It's very pleasant. It's very pleasing. But it's not as interesting as the jasmine tea that I just tasted before. Okay, move over. Genmaicha. Now we're going to have milk oolong, Guanja milk oolong. This is one of those teas that almost everybody, 99% people enjoy, even if they never had oolong or green tea before, because this tea has amazing aroma. So, as the name indicates, it's a creamy, milky, but it also has orchid-like notes. Let's drink some water. Yeah, make sure you leave this open. Slurp. I also taste a little bit of vanilla, and believe it or not, honeysuckle. This let's see how this tea will change, and it has a long finish, and the mouthfeel is actually pretty thick. It's very creamy, very thick, very pleasant. I hope you had this tea already, or you're going to have, because it's amazing tea. I almost feel like it's a waste of tea to try it with chocolates, but just let's go ahead and do it. So the recommended chocolate for pairing will be white chocolate. So it's going to be like and like, creamy, smooth, buttery tea with the creamy white chocolate. You don't want to leave too much chocolate in your mouth because it's going to overpower the tea. Just enough to coat. Very, very interesting. The creaminess, orchid-like aroma and scent are still pretty prominent. There's something else coming. I think it's becoming a little toasty for some reason. I can almost taste like a walnut notes in it. The finish and mouthfeel didn't change, but it definitely gained some, like I said, some kind of a little bit of like nuttiness for some reason, and it's probably, I would probably identify this as walnut. But like I said, don't just stop on that one tasting. Continue experimenting, tasting. Like I said, quiet environment, relaxed atmosphere, no stimuli. Close your eyes, reduce the noise or try not to have any noise. Okay, done with these three. Let's move on to the heavier stuff, my favorite, dark teas. And I don't even know. Okay, I know what's this. Interesting. Let's try it, see what it is. Okay, so this is Assam. Assam is black tea from India. I want to keep these warm actually because they keep cooling off here quickly. It's winter time and we turned off the heat because the fan was making noise. Joylyn says, too much chocolate is never a problem. I love this. Agreed. I love it. It's dark teas, black teas, darker oolong. That's my favorite section. So this is Assam. Assam has malty. Okay, let's talk about mouthfeel. It's definitely medium. It's not thick. It's not thin. It's dry. And it also a little astringent, and it's normal for black tea. Now, there is some sweetness coming through. There's no flowers, no grassiness, but I can taste some kind of like grape wine notes, and that's probably has something to do with the maltiness. A little bit of popcorn, and believe it or not, there's a little bit of smokiness in it too. Okay, the recommended chocolate to go with Assam, milk chocolate. So it's it could be considered a contrast, but because there's a little bit of that maltiness, that kind of like toastiness in this tea, using milk chocolate with Assam can also be like and like. Try it, and actually I'm going to just take a sip like that. Ooh. Oh, it has changed. No more bitterness. No more astringency. There's more maltiness. It becomes, I almost taste some new notes in it. More so like cocoa, maybe even a little bit of coffee like. That's very interesting. Yep. This definitely lost its kind of this astringency and you know, this bite that it had before, which is fine. It's very interesting. But I think I liked it better before chocolate. Okay, next tea will be Lapsang Souchong. That's a very interesting tea. It's a smoky tea. And they make this tea by smoking usually pine cones or pine needles underneath tea, and the smoke from burning these needles or pine cones permeates tea. So it is a very natural smoky flavor and aroma. Okay. Lapsang Souchong. Camphor like smoky, not so much flavor, taste as aroma. Oh, it's amazing. It's actually, the mouthfeel is intense, but I can't pinpoint if it's thin or thick. And it's not bitter. It's not sparkling. I can't pinpoint the mouthfeel right now, but the finish is very long. Finish is very long. And I'd say it's intense according to this the descriptors that I have here. So let's pair it with chocolate. We're going to do milk chocolate, so it's going to be as a contrast. I'm trying to melt this chocolate on both parts of my left and right in the back. Still smokiness is present. Well, smokiness and the aroma, and that kind of camphor like a little bit earthy notes coming through. And again, it sort of starts to taste a little bit like a gingerbread cake to me. And of course, memories. Memories come to my mind from trips with my parents, camping trips, and of course, campfire. Dry. It's also dry. I think the milk chocolate kind of intensified some of the characteristic of this tea. But generally, Lapsang Souchong pairs really well, not just with chocolate, but other sweet desserts. And also some drinks, because there are some bourbony notes in it, which I don't taste because I don't drink scotch or whiskey, but I know a lot of customers who drink those alcoholic beverages. They like combination of Lapsang Souchong with those. In fact, Winston Churchill used to add scotch to his Lapsang Souchong. And last but not least, it is chestnut tea. So it's not what we usually recommend for tea tasting, because you are supposed to taste those pure teas. There you go. But I've experimented with chestnut tea during the past tea and chocolate pairing sessions, and it was very interesting too. So it should taste like chestnut. Oh, it's very nutty. It's very pretty astringent, almost like Darjeeling. But again, there's some warm notes in it. It's I do taste a little bit of like peach or mango, but tiny little bit. And but there's also some, you know, this earthiness and woodsy. It's a little woodsy, but chestnut notes of course come through. It is a little rough because it is a black tea, and doesn't have, except for the chestnut flavor, which is not the sweetness, it's just like nutty flavor added. Now the mouthfeel was astringent, and finish was short and intense. Let's see. Chestnut we're going to pair with dark chocolate. Take a sip, warm up your mouth, my mouth. Chocolate is good. I don't fancy milk chocolate as much as dark chocolate. It's very interesting. Okay, my mouth is chocolate covered. Let's get another sip of chestnut tea. No astringency. It still has a intense. I don't like I said, it's not astringency, but it's becomes very thick and mellow. I wouldn't call it dull, but it kind of definitely mellowed out. And of course the chestnut and there's other nuttiness and toastiness that it's coming through, because the chocolate kind of offset that astringency and bitterness of the dark tea, black tea. So this is pretty enjoyable, very interesting experience. I hope you've learned how to do proper tea tasting. A lot of the material that I covered today is also included in advanced tea class, because I talk about, you know, all these professional tea tasting, and not just tea, but also it could be utilized with other foods and drinks. So advanced tea class covers tea tasting in more detail. Wow, now I have all this chocolate here. Happy Valentine. I'm taking a little break to talk to you guys. Joy Lynn says, Lapsang has been my favorite for years. If any tea house has it, I order it. I've had it all over the world, and this tea I got especially for this pairing is absolutely divine. Thank you. Smoked chocolate. Chocolate. Yeah, you basically end up having smoked chocolate. You could put chocolate, more chocolate, just the whole, you know, but just keep drinking tea. But in this example, chocolate becomes a sweetener, so it takes place of the sugar and some other sweetener, and it's totally overwhelming, so not much of the tea taste left. Evelyn is asking, can you use smoky tea in cooking barbecue? Yes, absolutely. Many people use, myself including, Lapsang Souchong or Russian Caravan, which is another smoky tea, in cooking. You can, for example, brew, you know, strong tea and then marinate chicken or fish. You can make meat rub with Lapsang. You can even kind of crush it and sprinkle over mashed potatoes. French bakery here in Squirrel Hill, they use our Lapsang Souchong to make bacon macarons, for example. So it gives this like wonderful natural smoky flavor and aroma. Okay, I think we're just about done. And just in a review, several teas that I've tasted, that I presented and tasted today, were all very, like I said, they were all various types, quite different. We had a couple green teas, we had oolong, We had smoky black tea, we had Assam regular black tea, and we had flavored chestnut tea. And I used milk, white, and dark chocolate. And by proper tasting and having just a little bite of chocolate, these teas definitely changed their characteristics. So that was a very interesting experiment, and I encourage you to try more at home with the various types of tea. Not only you can taste and enjoy over 350 teas that we have in stock, but you can now pair them with chocolate and create enormous amount of new combinations. You can also pair chocolates with cheeses. Pair teas with cheeses, which I'm going to put together a session on that too. Is there such thing as cheese day? Thanks again for joining. If you were late for this session, or if you had problem connecting, don't forget this is being recorded, and it's going to be available on our YouTube channel, Blue Monkey Tea YouTube channel. Also, it's going to stay on our Facebook page. And if you guys have any questions, please send them to 100teacups@gmail.com. I'll be glad to answer your questions. And yeah, happy Valentine all. This was Margaret from Blue Monkey Tea Shop in Pittsburgh, talking about tea and chocolate pairing today. And I hope you enjoyed this session. Thank you. This was the official finish, but I'm still here.
I think Natalia and Dorota are out there.
Thanks, Candice, Denise, Lisa, Judy.
Happy Valentine's Day, Dorota and Natalia.
Thank you. Judy says she loved watching her sons trying to take small slurps and chocolate and making faces and comments. I'm glad you had fun. Lisa, Denise, and you're welcome. Let's enjoy that Valentine's Day. It's I love it because it's in the middle of winter, and during this tough pandemic time, it's one of those happy holidays. Oh, we have another holiday coming up on Monday, President's Day. We are going to be open, so just remember we're closed on Sundays now. But we're open Monday through Friday, 11 to 7. You can also order online, and the shipping is only $5. You can also order online for pickup. Paula says, I just went back and I see Paula says she's doing it all. Then she said 2 teas. Don't be afraid to experiment and taste teas that you may not be too fond of, because once you get to know this particular tea and I said train your buds to be more sensitive, perceptive, you might be surprised what you discover in future. Many times people don't particularly care for tea in the beginning, especially with teas like Lapsang Souchong or Pu'er, but eventually they get this acquired taste and they start liking it. Their taste buds start to like it. Natalia, she's going to pair some tea and hot cocoa. That's good too. In fact, a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, I had a session about chocolate tea, and I was doing demo and showing you a recipe for chocolate chai. Oh, great. Paula used toasty. Can I have a toasty to show? She just bought 2. Can I have a green one? It doesn't matter. That's a good idea, actually. If you want to do this tasting session, maybe with friends in future or virtual, you can definitely brew them and keep them warm in these toasty mugs. This has infuser basket, and it's you flip it for steeping, flip it back, and it keeps them nice and hot for hours. In fact, happy Valentine's Day, Natalia. Good way, Evelyn says, good way to meditate and enjoy a good hot cup of tea and little things in life. Try it out. Okay, I think we're done. And join me next week. I am not quite sure what topic it's going to be. Maybe you want to throw me some suggestions. Maybe some of you want to let me know what would you like to learn. And have a great weekend, the rest of the weekend and Valentine. Drink tea, stay healthy. Stay healthy. Oh, we're gonna drink, which is my favorite here. It was, well, actually, Lapsang Souchong.
Evelyn said cooking with tea
Yeah,
would be good
so,
for us.
yeah. Am I still on?
No, you're